Hi there, it is Tuesday, October 6th. This is English Language Arts at Hanby. I am Mr. Newman. This is our class recap. So let's begin class. If you would pause this video and write down the 3 items you see under Planner on the Planner page in your Hanby Student Planner. Okay, good job. So your next step, assuming that you have the Planner open on your screen, you'll see a timer in the upper right-hand corner. You are going to, on page W12 of your notebook, respond to the prompt. Let me read it to you. We must not mistake kindness for weakness. Kindness isn't weak. Kindness is a certain kind of strength. So the prompt is, what is your reaction to this quote and why? Explain using examples. Okay, go ahead and pause this video. Start the 6-minute timer and write the entire 6 minutes. Okay, so if you were in class today, you would have, following your quick write, you would have gone into your breakout rooms and shared your quick write, reading it out loud with others. That is in preparation for, hint, hint, tomorrow you will be asked to read a quick write on a Flipgrid post. So be ready for that. It would be a good time to practice reading this one out loud just to get yourself in that mindset. If there are things you want to do to go back and add to it, that also helps too. So the next part of our class addresses character notes. And you all, and I'm going to take you back into Google Classroom for today. So this is in period 4, but there are some resources in here. One of them says sample character notes. And on this one, you get to see what a page of character notes might look like. If you have not set up your notebook on pages R6 through R9, there is a document called R6 to R9 Notebook Setup for Character Notes, and this guides you through what each page of your notebook should look like. So if you're curious, like, what do I put where, like this has everything there. And so know that that is available to you too. But the most important document that you want to open that's in Google Classroom is this one. So it is Character Notes Source Information. And on here, there is a link to every jam that students created during the Character Collaboration Project. So your task is, in your notebook, you want to record a working definition of each element, plus a number of working questions. And I want you to think about this. This assignment is about taking notes. But it's not about taking notes for notes' sake. Like, the taking notes for notes' sake is like this much. What you're going to do with these notes over the next 3-4 weeks is like this much. Okay? So right now, your goal as you are taking notes is to try to understand each of these elements. So your notes should reflect your understanding and your list of questions. Okay? When I look at mine as a sample, for physical description, I want a definition and I want a list of questions. And let's look at how to get there. So if you start with this document and you click on each of the links. Now for physical description, there's only 2 that were finished. For background and all the others, there's 4. And for conflict, there's 5. So my recommendation to you is to open all of those links separately. So here, up here at the top, I have the 2 links for physical description that are open. Okay? And what I want to be able to do is to use these jams. These are ones that other people have created. They were based on similar source information. But I want to use these for me, myself, to figure a working definition of when I think about a character or someone, what's the definition of their physical description? What does that actually mean? And then what questions do I have to ask myself to be able to truly understand that element of their personality or of their character? Because when we think about character, it's not just someone's physical description. It's not just their personality, and it's not just their motivation. Okay? Someone's character is made up of all of these things together. So if I know someone's physical description, and I know the conflicts that they face, and I know their personality, and I know the relationships that they have, and I know about their words and actions, I've got a much better picture of what are the elements that working together make this person who they are. So for you, you are recording those definitions and those questions in your notes. So to model this, For me to get these notes, I started with the 2 jams that I have open for physical description. And I started with this one because I just scanned through them first and I thought, I like this definition. A physical description of a character is the thing that can be seen on the outside. So I wrote that down, the things that can be seen on the outside of a character. But when I looked at the second one, their definition said a visual description describing their appearance and the way they present themselves. And I thought, well, that's interesting too. I think I'm going to include that as well. Appearance and the way they present themselves. So my definition of the physical description based on these 2 is the things that can be seen on the outside of a character and their appearance and the way that they present themselves. So those 2 things together form a definition. Now, on yours, when you have 4 tabs open for personality, you don't have to write notes based on all 4. But I do want you to look at all 4. And when you look at them, what you're trying to figure out is what is the commonality here? They should all be saying generally the same thing because they're based on the same information. So when you look at the 4 jams for personality, you're really asking yourself, which one of these makes the most sense to me? That's the definition that you want to write down. And it's okay to write that word for word from someone else's. Okay? So the first part is the definition. The second part are the questions. So again, same process. I'm going to start with this one. I like these questions here. What does the person look like? What do they dress like? How do they carry themselves? I try to think about like my dad. Let's say I have to describe the physical description of my dad. So I've got a physical description, so what can be seen on the outside. So I know what he looks like. But there are more things to it, like, well, what does he look like? That's one. What does he dress like? How does he carry himself? Is he confident? Is he sad? Is he hesitant? Is he self-conscious? Like, what are those things? Those are all questions that, like, if I can answer these questions about someone, I'm like, okay, that kind of describes their physical description. Now, here's some others. What kind of energy do they give off? How old do they appear? Okay, these are all great questions. When I look at the other jam, I see a lot of the same thing. What does a person look like? How do they carry themselves? How do they dress? Okay, those were the common ones that are on our source information. So they added others like, how's their posture? What do they smell like? How do they represent themselves? How do they style their hair? So when I looked at all of these, and I looked at these 2, I thought, okay, I want to write down 5 of these. And I chose the 3 common ones. So what do they look like? How do they carry themselves? And what do they dress like? And then there were 2 others. What kind of energy do they represent? And how do they appear? Those are others that when I looked at them, I felt like, okay, this is something that makes sense to me. So again, the process, start on this page. For personality or for conflict, open all of them. Look at all of them first. Figure out the ones that work for you. Which one makes the most sense to you? That's the one that you record. Okay? Then go back and look at the questions. What are the common questions? Make sure you write down all of those. Then choose 1 or 2 or 3 of the extra ones that you think help you better understand that. Okay? These notes are going to span across 3 days in class, so we'll have parts of 3 days to work on them. If you're thinking about a good start today, I would aim to do 2 or 3 of them. Okay? Good luck. Tomorrow in class, there will be group collaboration time. If you are just missing today and you're coming to class tomorrow, you'll have a chance to work on this with other people. If you're doing this independently, well, yeah, on your own. All right. Good luck. Have a good day.